Hey, another brand new IPA is gonna be drunk today on Digesting Beer with Stuff In. It is the very funny Trillikini Super Low ABV IPA from Evil Twin, or Trillium, sort of in collaboration with Evil Twin. Evil Twin years ago came out with a Bikini beer that was like a 2.8% alcohol IPA that came out even before the term session IPA was something that was used really often, I think. And that beer I always thought was really cool. Haven't had it in a while because Evil Twin came out with Sour Bikini, which is really cool too, and low alcohol, really hoppy sour beer. And then this one, I guess, is just Trillium working with Evil Twin and being influenced by them, making their own kind of Bikini beer, low alcohol IPA. It's 3.3% alcohol, which is pretty significantly lower than all the other so-called session IPAs. And it's Trillikini with a three-breasted bikini top. Because I think trillium means like three. And I don't know if they're influenced by Total Recall at all. But yeah, they didn't mention it all, but that's what everyone is thinking of. They use Citra, Mosaic, and Amarillo hops in here for flavoring, and of course Columbus for a little bittering, and a little bit of oats, which I don't think Trillium has ever used in their hoppy beers, to my knowledge. It's usually a little bit of wheat and like dextrin and C15. And this was released 2 days ago, or something like that. Or maybe, no, it was just yesterday. So really fresh. I'm using an old-fashioned pint glass because I thought like this beer would be a little odd and inappropriate to put in my normal tulip tasting glass. And it's super hazy, like a Trillium beer, and very aromatic, really hazy. They did not make it look really any different than their other beers, except the head's a little bit lighter, more bubbly, not as dense as their full-on IPAs. And that just comes with the territory with the lower alcohol beers with less bitterness. But the aroma is really strong already. Oh yeah, it smells really good. And I think things are sagging here a little bit. Let's see if I can fix that. Yeah, that's a little better. And yeah, it reminds me a little bit of some notch in some of the better session IPAs out there, but with a much just fruity hop forward flavor that Trillium is really known for. Pineapple, peachy, orange juicy, and it's got that nice vanilla cakey Citra thing going on too. Just a hint of some spiciness, but I can smell that it's not really insanely hopped and high in alcohol. Like I feel like I can smell that it's not as malt, doesn't have much malt, it's just not as boozy also, but the aroma is really nice and very strong. Whew. Real peppery, really dry, and yeah, that light body is very refreshing. See if I can get some more sediment in there. Yeah, the head doesn't stick around too long because, of course, if they made this beer as bitter as their normal IPAs, it might not be very palatable at all. With the session IPAs, you gotta dial back all the bittering hops. They probably just did everything near the end of this beer because I'm not getting much bitterness at all. I've had some session IPAs that are pretty darn bitter and coarse. This has a little bit of that coarseness. It's just like very light grains and then really green bitterness. Like I'm noticing that a little bit now. But it has so much fruitiness, so much of the classic Trillium tropical fruitiness going on. It all works out pretty well. Really refreshing. Really fruity. It doesn't have the sweet, juicy quality as much as Trillium's other beers because you need a little bit of more malt and malt sweetness, I think, to pull off something having a nectary sort of mouth feel and taste. Like the finish on this is pretty bitter and woodsy, greeny sort of things are happening now in my mouth. Well, that just kind of comes with the territory. The aroma is really nice, though. It has all those paler stone fruit aromas and flavors. Pineapple, peach, apricot. Definitely some passion fruit going on, too. And the bitterness isn't too much. And the body's pretty light, but the oats probably help it out a little bit. Maybe it's the oats that I'm noticing, they're, especially, that sets it apart from most Trillium beers. It's just a little bit different flavor, adds a little bit of an astringency, maybe, I think, too. But also amps up the fluffier mouthfeel. So it's not super duper watery. I don't like that term watery also, because people just seem to use watery just to mean not enough flavors for them or something. I don't really know. It's very unclear. But I've probably had like some Berliner Weisses that were a little lighter in body than this. But yeah, after a few sips and you sip it again, it really almost rakes your tongue with just like hop seltzer bitterness. But it's not too much and not astringent. Like, this beer probably would be not very good if you aged it, I assume. Whereas I've had some Trilliums after a month and they were still really, really great beers. They lost a little bit of their fresh, fruity juiciness and ended up being on the piney side. But with this one, it probably would get just be all bitter and lose the fruitiness pretty quickly, I assume. And I doubt this 4-pack that I have will last me very long. No, it doesn't. Like, it has all the beautiful, delicious flavors of lots of Trillium hoppy beers, but it doesn't quite have the hallmark juicy body, as I said. So it's not quite on par. Like, the other Trilliums are better, even though I love session IPAs, like this, certain ones done well, like this. But it's not something that you have to get your hands on, something that's going to be life-changing, unless you've never had a hazy, really fruity IPA like this. It's up there with all the other Trillium beers. It's definitely Trillium quality. There's no fuck-ups in this beer. But I wouldn't just get this. If you're obsessed with session IPAs, get this and also other Trillium beers. Yeah, but it's definitely one of the best really low alcohol hoppy beers I've ever had. I'm going to give it like an 80, 87 or something like that. Because they did it well. They've never done anything like this. I don't know if they've ever done really any beer below like 4.9%. And they did a really good job with Trillikini. Thanks for doing it just in time for summer. It's the first day of summer now, so if you can get your hands on it, I really recommend definitely trying it, and it will make you think twice about what session IPAs are and can be. So 87 for Trillikini from Trillium. Bye bye.